Hello everyone, this is Beastly Eel here, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the results of the latest death battle. So the latest death battle was between Goku from Dragon Ball versus Superman from DC. Now, for those of you who don't know who have never watched Death Battle before, this is the third fight between Goku versus Superman. So at first, as you saw in my prediction video, I was like, well, obviously it's got to be Superman because Superman has no limits, blah, blah, blah. Well, they decided to look at it very differently. So they wanted to look at their feats as a whole and quantify those feats into measurable numbers to go toe to toe with each other. So they weren't focusing so much on Superman having no limits and Goku being able to break his limits and that stuff. They're focusing more on their feats and what they're capable of because of their power. And that's kind of where that went to. So one of the big things that I actually learned a little bit about both characters. Um, Goku, when he goes into Ultra Instinct, specifically Mastered Ultra Instinct, if his body is incapable of fighting anymore, his essence will make a spirit, like a key version avatar of his body to fight for him in the event that his body is weakened to the point where he's unable to anymore. So then we also have him actually being able to teleport through space and time, which is something I was not um, fully aware of, but it shouldn't be all that surprising because he's able to use um, instant transmission. So that was the big thing with Goku on that one. And then for Superman, pretty much the same as I would always remember. The difference being, actually, I lied. There are two attacks that he has that were very different than what I thought. Meaning, Superman is able to release. So instead of shooting his heat vision through his eyes, he's able to basically make a supernova explosion throughout like from his body, to cause destruction all around him. It used to weaken him when he tried to use all of it at once, but now he's been able to work on it and train on it, and doesn't. It's still a draining attack, but it won't drain him completely because of his training. We also have the fact that Superman can fly around the universe, absorb solar radiation from all these different suns, and come back and punch and shatter reality. Hit somebody so hard that all versions of them throughout the entire multiverse feel it. So yeah, there's that. The other thing that they did too was they took all of the data from all canons. So Superman from all versions, and Goku from all versions as well. So it was Goku versus Superman as always. So the fight starts off with Goku already in Super Saiyan, and Superman and him are fighting. So the two are basically sparring with each other. Goku, I mean, they're really, neither one is truly got the edge, although it looks visually that Goku has got the lead in this. And that's when Superman decides to go a little bit stronger and starts beating Super Saiyan Goku. That's when Goku goes into Super Saiyan Blue, and the two start really going at it. Goku's able to smack him around, blast him around, and everything else. And that's when um, Superman really starts to use his power again, starts beating on Goku to the point where he knocks him out of Super Saiyan Blue, and he tries to go after Superman again and is getting smacked around with ease, although Superman is not really putting in all that much effort at this point when Goku's in his base form. And Goku then goes into his Ultra Instinct form. In that Ultra Instinct form, he starts beating on um, Superman again. And it looks like, to be honest with you, this is the time Superman is actually getting his butt kicked. But I want to make it clear that in the beginning, Superman had a tough time hitting him, but eventually was able to start landing hits on top of Goku. So what happened was the two were starting to attack each other. Goku was able to smack him around, to a point where Superman decided to end it and go into the universe and start absorbing all the suns. And that's when Goku starts getting excited and uses all of his energy inside of a Kamehameha. So it's the Kamehameha versus the multiverse multiversal Mac Punch, um, where Superman goes right through. So it's unclear if he goes through the Kamehameha. But all of a sudden, when the smoke clears and everything else, and the universe is completely shattered, we see Goku alive, as we well, so we think, until we look above his head, and he's got a halo, and Superman's there. And Goku goes, "Oh, I guess I lost." And Superman's like, "Yeah, this time." And then in the shatters of the universe, we get to see all different versions of the fight between Goku versus Superman. So there's a version of him fighting. Um, there's a Super Saiyan 4 variant of Goku versus a variant of Superman. There's Superman fighting Goku Black in his Rose form. So there were very different versions of this fight happening all at once. And it showed that their fight will just continue on. And explains to him that, I'm going to keep getting stronger and I want a rematch. And Superman agrees. So in the end, Superman wins this fight. So it was divided up into five categories. It was strength, speed, skill, experience, and power. So just to quickly go over it, power-wise, Superman wins by a landslide. Speed was an interesting one. So they went with a tie because both parties were um, unable to be calculated. So they went at best as a tie, even though they still thought Superman was faster because of his feats that he's shown. But it's so difficult to measure speed with these two characters because of their abilities in general. So they decided to go with a tie on that one. So then we went with skill, and this actually goes to Goku because not to say that Superman doesn't have any skills in fighting whatsoever, but he's relied heavily on his overpowering just strength in general. So because of that, Goku takes that one, where his skills as a martial artist um, really kind of hone in here. Now, that being said, like I said earlier, that does not mean Superman does not train at all, but he doesn't need to as much as Goku does. It's fair to say. Then we have experience, and that goes to Superman because he's lived thousands and thousands of years in Asgard fighting demons. So the experience goes there. And then power. This one was a tough one because I would have think that Goku would win this one because of his variety of attacks, but it's actually because his attacks don't do that much damage to Superman because they're not magic. They're key, so it's physical energy used as a energy output. So physical strength infused into energy blast is basically what it is. And so because of that, Superman outbeats that without a problem. Power goes to Superman. So in the end, for this fight, Superman wins. That being said, if Goku gets new power-ups and everything else, who knows if he will be able to defeat Superman. But for now, Goku has lost 3 out of 3 times, and once again, I was right, and that's a rarity, especially in DeathBattle lately. So the next DeathBattle is going to be the season finale of season 10, and it will be between Galactus from Marvel versus the Unicron from Transformers. So next week I'll be doing a prediction video after doing a bunch of research on these two characters and then going from there. So I'll have to wait and see what happens. But let me know what you guys thought about this death battle in the comments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And why? And as always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.